I'm going to roll out my own top 100 list. Hey, I'm of the belief if you're going to shit on a top 100 list, you better come with your own as well. I've got my own. I already made. Might make some tweaks to it, but this is NBA Rank 2025, ESPN's top 100 ranking, and I do believe ESPN's is a prediction to get the final NBA rank prediction. Yes, so they are kind of predicting what we will look at, what the top 100 players will be at the end of the season. In my opinion, this is how all top 100 lists should be. This is how all preseason top 100 lists should be. They should be predictive. So good on ESPN for that. It makes it more fun. It makes it more entertaining. So let's dive into it. I have titled, and I feel a little bit bad. I got to be real with you guys. I titled the stream ESPN's terrible top 100 list. I haven't even looked at it. So, but I already know it's terrible. And my list will be terrible too. But that's what's fun about it. RJ Barrett, top is number 100. My God, they had him at 53 going into last season. What did they think was going to happen there? This is about, I think on my list, did I have RJ ranked? I guess we'll find out soon. If I don't have RJ ranked, he's like literally right around number 100. So, yeah, okay. Stephon Castle, number 99. I think that's probably around where I had him too. I don't know if he made mine though. I don't think Stephon Castle, even though he did win Rookie of the Year, I did not think he was a top 100 player in the league last year. With all of their guards, will he get there? I don't know. They have the projection for RJ at 21, 6, and 5. I mean, that's a top 100 player, 100%. Like, that's kind of a crazy stat line. That's easily a top 100 player if he gets that. Walker Kessler at 98. So I was high on Walker Kessler, kind of higher on him than this, and I might dock him a little bit because I was talking with Nick about it, and I don't know if that made the podcast, but he said David Locke, who hosts Locked On Jazz, was shocked people had Walker Kessler in their top 100 in a bad way. Never good when someone who watches every game says that. So, yeah. But I mean, if he averages 10.5, 11 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks. Peyton Pritchard at 97. I was higher on him than this. I'll just say that much. Nick Alexander Walker, I had right around 100. I think this is fair for him. Whoa, okay. I don't think I know the Mavericks one. I did not know PJ was in here. All right. Okay. That's surprising to me. And I think absolutely well-deserving of a top 100 mention is PJ Washington. So good for him. He gets in here. I love it. Devin Vassell? This pains me. You guys know, if you've watched me for any extended period of time, I have been a Devin Vassell, hold steady on Devin Vassell. I've been a Devin Vassell truther for years. I think I've picked him to win Most Improved Player at least twice, maybe even 3 times. Yeah. I don't know if I can get there with him, personally. I don't know if I can get there with him. Just wildly inconsistent on top of wildly inconsistent play on the court paired with wild unavailability, just not being out there. I don't know if I can in good faith say he's a top 100 player. Jakob Poeltl, yeah, I think I had him a little bit higher than this. If he's healthy and playing, he's better than this, I think. Mitchell Robinson, yeah. Drew Holiday. Oh, nothing too crazy here. Wow, okay, Naz Reid at 90 feels low. But this is about where I had him too. I was actually thinking, and did I end up putting the Naz Reid extension in my overrated signings? I think that extension has a chance of not being good, personally. Right? I think it's a lot to pay a guy like Naz Reid, personally. But he still is a good player. Wiggins. Okay, so Zach Edey. Okay. Timeout. Zach Edey, I have a problem with. I'm sorry. I don't think Zach Edey's a top 100 player in the league. I don't. I'm willing to be wrong on that. I don't think he's a top 100 player in the league. Jonas Valanciunas? What? I'm sorry. What? Is Jonas Valanciunas a top 100 player in the league? Are we crazy? This one to me is like a what? And I kind of respect Valanciunas' game and what he brings to the table, but like top 100? And not even top 100, but like top 90? Nuggets actually had him at 91 before the season, or before last season. No. I mean, I think like Naz Reid is better than Jonas Valanciunas 100%. Mitchell Robinson is 100% better than Valanciunas. Jakob Poeltl is 1,000% better than Valanciunas. Like, think about that for a second, bro. They have Valanciunas at a Jakob Poeltl. What? What? I mean, what could possibly even be the argument there? What's up with these guys that have these shirts on? Him and Castle. What is that? Oh, in NBA PA. Oh, is this when they were free agents or something? Bradley Beal. I don't think I had Bradley Beal in my top 100. I get putting him there. I just don't think he's reaching that point where it's like for Bradley Beal to really be effective, he needs the ball in his hands a bunch. He's really not going to defend. But then if you watch him, it's like his numbers look good. But if you watch him, how much does he actually impact the game? Is it the level of a top 100 player? I don't think so anymore. Jay Ivey, I love that. I think I have him in my top 100. I love that. Good on you, ESPN. I love it. Big year for Jay Ivey coming up. I like that. Toby, some Tobias Harris love. I love that. Tobias Harris defenders. Don't kill me, but I think RJ greater than Beal. I mean, that feels like a very reasonable take at this point in time. Jonathan Kuminga? Why? What? So you didn't rank him going into last year, but you're going to rank him this year? I don't understand that. I think I'd rather have every single player listed so far, maybe instead of like Beal, and even then I'd have to think about it, than Kuminga. I'm not a Kuminga guy whatsoever. So that full disclosure, I am not a Kuminga guy at all. Maybe if they're saying like, yeah, we don't think he'll be on the Warriors, we think he'll be on like the Kings and he'll have a bigger role. Okay, maybe I see that. Norm Powell, all right. Nembhard feels kind of low, maybe. We'll see. I don't know where I had Nembhard. DeMar at 80. Yeah, DeMar is one of the hardest players to rank. I mean, that's just the truth. Because it's DeMar, Brandon Ingram, Zach LaVine. They all sort of fall into this clump together. And I think in my list, they are all really close together. They all kind of fall into this clump where it's like, they're good, they're talented. You know they're good when you're watching them. But do you want them on your team? Not really. Does anyone really want these guys on their team? I don't think so. I think the market kind of shows that as well. Besides BI, I guess. Onyeka Okongwu at 79. God damn. Paul at the 2. Slightly biased equals Kuminga guy. You heard it here. Guys, that's a lie. I'm not a Jonathan Kuminga guy. And I just want to reiterate, guys, I am not a Jonathan Kuminga guy. Okongwu is actually interesting, and I'm only saying this because, and this actually is reinvigorating me because I had Okongwu in my top 100, and I think I still do. I had Okongwu in my top 100, and I thought, is this a little too out there? But them having him at 79, all right, I respect that 100%. I think Okongwu's for sure, at least in the conversation as a top 100 player. And you're doing some projecting, obviously, because did it say it? Yeah, he became the starter on January 20th. So he only became the starter halfway through the season. Toumani Camara? No, this feels about right for Camara. Brandon Ingram at 77. So like I said, B.I., DeRozan, I'm assuming Zach LaVine's right around here as well. All kind of in a similar all kind of in a similar breath, in my opinion. Brandon Ingram, yeah. It's like it's who would I rather have on the Mavericks? I'd rather have Toumani Camara. But I understand Brandon Ingram's a better basketball player than Toumani Camara, if that makes sense. More skilled, at least. So, Brandon Miller, I have him. I'll just spoil it a little bit. I have Brandon Miller high on my list. I'm really in on him. I'm a big believer of his. Last year was super injured. But just in the tiny stretch of games we got from him last year, his playmaking looks so much improved. I'm a huge believer of Brandon Miller's. And I'm hopeful he stays healthy this season because I think he's going to be awesome. And I think if he is healthy and playing, he'll be way higher than this. Jaden McDaniels at 75. I feel like he's one of those guys you always want to rank higher, but then you get to it and you're just like, yeah. Jabari at 74. D-Live at 73. I didn't know D-Live was on this list. Hell yeah. My God, they had him at 56 going into last year. Jesus Christ. Wow, they were really high on him. All right. Yeah, I mean, I had D-Live. The Locked On list did not have Derek Lively in it, which I couldn't believe. I had D-Live right around here as well. I think he's going to be awesome. If he's healthy and playing, I think he's going to be so awesome. I think he's going to be so awesome for the team. He was ahead of Cade infamously. Oh, I think I do vaguely remember that. Yeah, here's Levine. Again, kind of in the same area. Kobe White. Yeah, this feels fair for him. Michael Porter Jr., 70. I'm going to be honest with you. Feels high. Feels high, honestly. Josh Hart at 69. Timeout. No. No. Just no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No way. Under no circumstances. Absolutely no. Clearly not. Obviously not. Obviously no. I don't have Josh Hart in mind, personally. I do respect what he does. I do respect what he brings to the table. But I can't help but just feel like after the playoffs watching where it felt like at times you have to get Josh Hart off the floor. That just always leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Tyler Hero at 68 immediately feels low. Like I'll say this, Tyler Hero only being one spot ahead of Josh Hart seriously feels like we're about to see some ugly shit coming up here. Cam Johnson at 67. Okay. Yeah, all right. Denny Avdia at 66. Yeah. Yeah, he was awesome last year. Aaron Nesmith at 65. Okay. I Nesmith top 100, yeah, for sure. Do you think Nesmith is that much better than Nembhard? I don't know about that. He was so fucking 50% in the playoffs last year from 3. Yeesh. Lou Dort, yeah, it's about where I have him, I think. LaMelo at 63. Obviously, a healthy LaMelo is way better than the 63rd player in the league, but I am kind of in the same boat where it's like, how the fuck do you rank this guy? He's never, ever healthy. Christian Brown is 62. Feels really high. But where do I have Christian Brown, though? Because I remember whenever I was doing my ranking, Christian Brown ended up being super high. Way higher than I was at least expecting it to be. Let's see. No spoilers. I had him at 72. Zion at 61. Zion is hard as well. I'll give him that. Zion is hard. I had Zion. Well, I'm not going to tell you where I had Zion. Christian Brown's a borderline top 100 player. I think he's a top 100 player comfortably based off last year. I mean, when you project Zion, it's like you either have him high or don't have him at all. You get what I'm saying? Reeves at 60. So, all right. Here's an interesting one. I mean, Tyler Hero is just flat out a better player than Austin Reeves is, right? I mean, that's not even really up for debate, is it? Tyler Hero is just flat out better as a player than Austin Reeves. I don't know how many people would even question that. Suggs feels kind of high for Suggs, if I'm being real with you. Trey Murphy at 58 feels kind of high for Trey Murphy, if I'm being real with you again. Miles Turner at 57. Yeah, feels a little tiny bit high to me as well. Isaiah Hardenstein at 56. That feels fair. He's around top 50. Dyson Daniels 55. That feels fair as well. Paul George at 54. Yeah, actually. So like a difference between like a Paul George and a Zion. Because I was just saying, well, Zion, like you either have to rank him high or not rank him at all. Because if he's playing, he's clearly a top 20 player in the league. Paul George, I think there's enough to be a little concerned about based off of where he was last year as a player, his age, and his injuries. So if you're doing a predictive list, I don't think it's unreasonable to be like, I don't think Paul George will be like a top 70 player in the league this year. I just think he's entering this phase, which is really quite sad for the Sixers if true. Caruso all the way up at 53. Okay, yeah. There's Flag at 52. Man, they're high on Flag. That's high. 52 is high. We've already done this on Locked On. I have Flag at 66 in my rankings. 52 is high, man. Hey, salute. Salute. They have him projected. If Flag averages this year one, bro, they have him projected at 19.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists a game. If he averages that year one, if Cooper Flag averages 19.5, 6 rebounds, and somebody clip this and post it. If Flag averages 19.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 4.5 assists a game this upcoming season, I will wear a Cooper Flag jersey every single day the month he wins Rookie of the Year. Every single day. That would be incredible. Draymond at 51. Yeah. Where's the next one? Which 10 players can crack next year's list? Dylan Harper? Yeah. Con Knipple? Sure. Klingon? I thought about having Klingon in mine. Ricochet? I do have Ricochet in mine. Spoiler alert. I have Asar in mine as well. Khalil Ware? Josh Giddey's not on their list at all? Really? Herb Jones did not make their list? Podzimski? Must be watching different players. Where's the... Have they done the next one? Please tell me. Oh, here we go. Oh, they haven't done the top 10 yet. God damn it, ESPN. Why do you drag this shit out, man? KP at 50. Hard player to rank for sure. Gobert at 49. He's losing a step. Embiid all the way down to 47. It's kind of a similar thing to Zion. If you're going to rank them, you almost have to rank them high. Yeah, okay. So they have Jonas Valanciunas over Herb Jones. Well, I mean, what is going on with the Jonas Valanciunas selection? What is going on there? Am I missing something entirely? Jalen Johnson at 44. Whoa, all right. I like it. This is actually lower than where I have him, but I didn't think that they would have him there. Lowry dropping down to 43. With that contract, Amin Thompson at 37 feels a little high, but I think that's around where I have him. They're making that Amin Thompson push, and I'm right there with them. Zion's in the 60s. Zubats. It really doesn't feel like a bad list. Okay, Ja at 33 feels really low. I mean, if he's playing, like, what's the argument against him not being a top 20 player? Right? Am I tripping? Jaren Jackson Jr. over John Morant? Timeout. Fundamentally disagree. Scotty Barnes at 30 feels really high. That feels actually kind of crazy high. Am I just sleeping on Scotty this year? I did the whole Scotty thing last year, I think. Trey at 29. What wasn't the Ringers one like absurd with him? Tyrese Maxey. Do we think Tyrese Maxey's better than John Morant? Do we think Tyrese Maxey's better than Trae Young? Personally, I don't believe that. Derek White at 26. That feels really high. Feels really, really high. Şengün and Chet went ahead. This is actually a dilemma. This exact duo right here was a dilemma I was having. Chet or Şengün, which one should be higher? And I ended up going, spoiler alert, Şengün over Chet. I did end up going Şengün over Chet. But that one was the exact pause I had. Was Şengün or Chet? Which one would you rather have? Now, there is a world. If you want to do a predictive list and you're fucking planting your flag that Chet is going to have an offensive breakout season, I am planting my flag. This is going to happen this year. I can 100% see it. No, I would say it's a dilemma. If you think Chet's going to have this offensive breakout, yeah, I 100% see Chet's probably in the top 20, I would say. But I'm a little bit more hesitant on that 100% happening. And I do think we'll see another Şengün leap. I mean, why not? He's still young. Why would he not continue to get better? Harden at 23, yeah, that feels about right. Siakam at 22, that feels right. Really not a bad list. Honest to God, guys, the Jonas Valanciunas inclusion to me is mind-blowing. I don't understand what is going on there. But outside of that, really not a half bad list. Bam at 21. Bamonte, man. You guys know I love Bam so much. Kawhi at 20. Yeah, that feels right. I really was a little bit let down by his playoff performance. Jaylen Brown at 19. That seems a little high to me personally, but I just don't. I just wasn't. And maybe guys correct me if I'm wrong. I just really did not think Jaylen Brown was that great last year. I thought it was a bit of a letdown, Jaylen Brown season, coming off of the final MVP. I thought it was a bit of a letdown season, and I'm just not really that sure what we're going to see this year is going to be good. I will say I like marked it down. Jaylen Brown. Hold on a second. And did I miss some? Jimmy Butler is about to be absurdly high on this. Jimmy Butler is about to be absolutely insanely fucking high. Yeah, Jimmy at 18 is insane. That is crazy. That is crazy. To me, that is insane, man. No chance. No chance at all is he this high. I mean, what? All right, let me list off some names here. Stop me when you hear a player you'd rather have Jimmy Butler than. Okay? Alperen Şengün, Chet Holmgren, Pascal Siakam, Karl Anthony Towns, Bam Adebayo, Jaren Jackson, Jaylen Brown, De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Maxey. Wait, who'd you guys... You'd rather have Jimmy over Pascal? No way. Did we see the same Jimmy Butler in the playoffs last year? That was concerning. To me, that was alarming. Paolo at 17, yeah. D-Book at 16. Donovan Mitchell at 15. Okay. AD at 14. Timeout. That's too low. That's too low. Just is. That's too low, Witzke. Evan Mobley. And look, if you're doing a predictive thing and you're really banking on a Mobley breakout, I won't argue with you on this personally. I mean, I love Cade, so I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. I'm just not going to do it. 11? 11? What? What? The 11th best player in the league. What? Okay, so they either have Kyrie top 10 or Kyrie's not on this list. And I'll assume he's not on this list, actually, because we didn't get a Damian Lillard, who's still, if Damian Lillard, he's still a top 100 player easily, right? I'll just assume we're not getting a Tyrese Halliburton. Like, I'm trying to think who's left. Who hasn't been mentioned yet? So they're going to have LeBron in the top 10, obviously. They're going to have Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Shea, Ant, Wemby, Brunson, KD, Steph. Oh, it already said no Hallie, Kyrie, Tatum, Fred VanVleet, and Dame. Okay. All right. That's fair. Yeah, Dwight Powell robbed. Well, I wish they had the top 10 done. Okay, J-Dub, and you guys know I'm like a J-Dub defender. I've been high on him. You guys have gotten mad at me for how high I've been on him at times. 11 is too high. 11 is saying a lot. No, they had Book at like 15 or something like that. They had Book at 16, which is about right, I think. Somewhere in that range. Now, Booker was a couple spots behind AD. I mean, like, if you're saying someone's like the 11th best player, you are basically saying they're like they're a top 10 player. Basically, is what you're saying. I don't think J-Dub is in that conversation. Now, it is a predictive list, to be fair. It is a predictive list. I do think, I'd say the chances of like Chet having a breakout and then becoming, like surpassing J-Dub to me is more likely a scenario than J-Dub having like another breakout and then finding himself in like the top 10 range. Yeah, I agree with you, Varun. I was spoiled it, but like Chet's ahead of J-Dub in my predictive rankings, personally. Just because you have Chet does play DPOI level defense. He does. If it weren't for Victor Wembanyama being someone who existed. So, I don't know. All in all, I would say, though, really not horrible. Now, let's see where the top 10 takes us. Let's see where the top 10 leaves us out at, because I'm sure there will be something egregious there. How is Paolo that high? Paolo, though, is like, again, for these predictive rankings, there you see it with him. I know the efficiency stuff with Paolo isn't there, and I know the efficiency stuff with Paolo is at a point where it's like, like historically speaking, guys who are putting up efficiency like this, sometimes they just don't get there. They never like break the seal, really. Break through the barrier, the efficiency barrier. But then you watch Paolo play, and it's a completely different story. You watch Paolo play, and it's like, oh yeah, I see it. I see 100% what this is supposed to be and what this could be. So my biggest gripes, I mean, J-Dub at 11 feels crazy to me. I think Jimmy is way too high. Way too high. Like absurdly high. I think D-White's pretty high. I mean, that feels really high to me. Top 26 player? I don't know about that. I feel like they got all this range they got right. No, Darius Garland was here at 38. The Jonas Valanciunas one, I'm trying to think is the Jonas Valanciunas inclusion on this list the most absurd one? What? Like, and then you guys, it's clicks. Like, what? Like, putting Jonas Valanciunas your top 100 list is not generating you clicks. Maybe it is because of the absurdity, but it's not like, I doubt they had their meeting like, all right, guys, we need to generate buzz here. We need to generate some clicks on this. What are we thinking? I know it. I know what'll get the people going. Jonas Valanciunas. Jonas Valanciunas will get the people going. Jonas or Gafford? Great question, Joe. Great question. Gafford is clearly better than Jonas Valanciunas. Like, Jonas Valanciunas isn't even the best backup center in the league. They might have had a criteria on how many each position they had to include. Even if that's the case, how does Jonas Valanciunas make it? And then, okay, how is Jonas Valanciunas ahead of Jakob Poeltl? I mean, what on earth is the logic there? How on earth is Jonas Valanciunas better than Jakob Poeltl? Just insanity.